Dear students, let us take another topic from the derivatives of the skin, which is called as horns. This is the fourth derivative that we are going to study in this lecture. Myself, Sarshad Hussain from Degree College Suncoat. Horns are found in hoofed mammals. In previous lecture, we have studied what are the hoofed mammals. Mammals having hoof, and two orders, particularly the Artiodactyla and Perissodactyla, they are the animals from these orders which are having horns on their head. They are present on the head, and the horns are the organs of offense and defense. That means the animals, uh, with the help of these horns, defend their body from the predator and in turn attack another also, that is offense. There are at least 5 types of horns, but all the horns are not true horns. True horns are those horns which are produced from stratum corneum layer. So the 5 types of horns are: one is true horn or the hollow horn, then second is pronghorn, third is antler, fourth is giraffe horn, fifth is hair horn or fiber horn. Let us look at the true horn or the hollow horn. True or the hollow horn usually occur in both the sexes. So this is one of the major striking difference between true and the false horn. Though the other differences are also there. There are some non-true horns also which are present in both the sexes, but generally, usually true are always present on both the sexes. Moreover, they are hollow from inside. That is another characteristic feature of the true horn. So you might have observed the horns in goats, sheep, cattle, and others. They are both the sexes are having the horns. True horns are always unbranched. You see, there is no branching of this horn further. It is cylindrical and it is tapering at the end. So this is the characteristic feature of true horn. Moreover, true horns are the permanent structures. That means they never shed during the life, but they continue to grow. So they are the permanent structures. They are made of hollow bony core. You can see this is the dermal bony core, and it is hollow from inside, having a central cavity in it, and they arise from the frontal bone of the head or the skull, and they are covered over by the epidermal horny cap, shown over here as a black. You can see this complete horn having the cavity inside, showing the hollowness of this horn. Then we are having the pronghorns, the horn of antelope, like Antilocapra. They are having the pronghorn on their body, on their head. They are not true horn, and they are also true horn because they may or may not be present on both the sexes, but they are branched. This is the difference, that why they are not placed under the true horns, because they are branched. The earlier one were not branched. They are having two type of structures: the inner permanent dermal bony core and the outer non-permanent horny epidermal covering. So they are true in nature in the sense that they are permanent, but the permanent nature is restricted to the internal bony core only, whereas in the previous case both internal as well as the outer epidermal covering was also permanent, but here only the inner permanent dermal bony core is permanent, and the non-permanent horny epidermal covering is present on the outer side, and moreover they are branched also. Pronghorns, uh, they have a central bony core which is small. You can see in this cross section, this is the central bony core, this is small, and it is covered over by the horny epidermal covering, forming a sheath over it. And this is not permanent structure. This epidermal covering is not permanent structure. So half of it is having the permanent structure and half of it is not having the permanent structure. And the branching of it is called the prongs. There may be 1 to 3 branch that may come out from it. These branches, because they are formed from the epidermal covering, they shed every year. So this is not the permanent structure. The permanent bony core becomes the base around which in the following year again this epidermal covering will develop. So every year it is shed and then it is reformed in the following year. Then you are having the antlers. Antlers are characteristics of deer family. They are found on males generally in most of the deer, but reindeer and caribou, you can see they are having the antlers on both the sexes, male as well as females, whereas in red deer you can see they are present only in the male. So it means they are affiliated with the breeding behavior of the individuals. An antler is a branching, you can see, is a solid outgrowth of dense connective tissue. So it is formed from the dense connective tissue, and again it is connected basally with the frontal bone of the skull. Now, if it is formed by the dense connective tissue, it is not horny, then why they are hard? They become hard by the deposition of calcium salt in them. During growth period, they are covered over by the typical hairy and vascular skin. You can see this is the hairy vascular skin that is covering the antlers. So this skin is present during the growth period. It is also called as the velvet. When growth is completed, then this velvet is shed off from the antler, and the antlers are exposed from below, thus they become the naked one. After breeding season is over, the antlers are shed, so they are not permanent structure. They develop during the breeding season and then they are shed after the breeding season, and they will develop again in the next following year in the following breeding season. Then you are having the fourth type of horn, the giraffe horn. Horn of giraffe are stunted. They are not big enough and they are not branched, and permanent antlers present in both the sexes. So they are present in both the sexes and they are permanent antlers, because in previous we have seen that antlers were not the permanent, but here they are the permanent. But they are antlers because their formation is exactly similar to that of the antler. Each consists of a short bony dermal core projecting from the frontal bone of the skull, and it is always remain covered over by the unmodified skin, vascular skin, the velvet, as we have discussed in the previous case. That is why they are again like the antlers, but because they are permanent, so they have the different name, the giraffe horn, because they are present in giraffe only, and this velvet is not shed unlike that of the antlers. Then we are having the fifth and the last type of the horn, the hair horn. Hair horn are also called as fiber horn. They are present in both the sexes of the rhinoceros. Perched upon the roughened area of nasal bone. So where it is located on the roughened area of the nasal bone. You can see in this picture also, the Indian rhino is having only one horn, whereas the African rhino is having the two horns, one behind the other. These horns are entirely thick, hairy and keratinized epidermal fibers fused together. So you can look like if so many hairs are put together and are glued together, So in a similar fashion, you can see that the thick, hairy, keratinized epidermal fibers, exactly like that of the hairs, are fused together to form this type of the hair. That is why its name is hair horns. These are permanent structures, and if broken, they grow again. Now, for these horns, rhinoceros are often slaughtered illegally because the horns are having a great demand in Oriental countries as a love charm, and they are also used in manufacturing the medicines against fever and curing gout, that is the pain in the joints. Thanks. This is all about the types of the horns in case of the animals.